Hi guys, it's Neil. Just a quick video on an update that's happened today. I've literally just returned back from London for the Disney store, which was the Heroine collector's box release, and also for the Winnie the Pooh foil playmat. Both of which didn't obtain, even though I queued with lots and lots of people, a lot of the Lorcana community, and a lot of scalpers slash ripping shippers slash streamers, whatnots. So it all started yesterday. Woke up at like 5 a.m. So I have not slept in 33 hours now. So this is literally a video with no editing. It is just raw. I want to get this done before I go to sleep because I've got a pre-release to go to. So I just want to just get everything off my chest. So we turn up to London. Obviously it's very hot in the UK right now. So we turn up to London. I leave my house at 6 o'clock to get to a friend's house, just an hour away. And then we drive and get the train by the tube into just outside the Disney store. So we get there. There's at least 90 people, so we're 90th in the queue as we get there at 10 o'clock. So, and it's pretty hot out there. There's a lot of the community out there, but there is, I would say, at least 70% of not the community, which is full of scalpers, whatnot, streamers, people like that, ripping shippers as they like to be called. We've obviously set up our little chairs, waiting for the whole night. So we've got a good long 10 hours to go before the store even opens. It's going to be open at 8 o'clock in the morning. So we obviously sit there, people come, people go, people start pushing in certain parts of the queues, which is ultimately going to happen because you're going to have people that have got friends and that friends are going to join each other and so on and so on. But it wasn't the friends of people that was in the community, it was friends of scalpers. That was big numbers of scalpers. Just the guys next to us, we had conversations with them that did barely speak any English. There was like 12 of them, and all they knew was that there was basically got to pick something up. They didn't even know what it was. They didn't even know what Lorcana was. They had no idea of the game whatsoever. So obviously as the night progresses, certain things happen, more people keep turning up, the queue gets bigger. I'll start reporting on Twitter. Everything that I do is mainly on Twitter, so you can go and check that out. So as the day and the night progresses, it gets later and later, more people turn up. Obviously the queue gets bigger, it starts extending. Then there's talk of you may get 2 boxes, you may get 1 boxes, it depends on what the turnout is. So we carry on, we're all having a laugh, joking. There's more people just trying to push in places. There's fire exits around. It's basically going around the whole building. So it goes around the whole building, down the street, but around the building there's like businesses like hotels. There's people in hotels just going like, what the hell's going on here? There's people sitting outside on deck chairs. There's people playing Lorcana, not many. And there's people just lying on newspapers and card. This is not the Lorcana community. These are people that have no interest in the game, do not even know what the game does. They don't have a clue. They are being paid to sit in the queue. So they're being given £100, which that £100 is then used to buy the box. And then they take the box back to their boss, and their boss then pays them X amount, 150 or 100 quid basically, and then they're selling. Obviously I'm going to go in British pounds, so you've gone from buying the box for 100 quid, which that's what it's worth, and then after that they take it back to their boss then gives them 150 quid, and then he sells it for 350, 400 quid, which is at the minute the going rate on eBay and on the secondary market in the UK. So the boss is making a lot of money. I've had reports, I do speak to a lot of the community, I've had reports that 55 people in that queue, which we'll get to a bit later in the story, are obviously all paid. So you can just imagine the amount of money that's involved in this. But as we go through the night, There is one person that turned up 3:30 in the afternoon, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the night before. Crazy. This is a judge. I don't know the name. They're a Lorcana player, and second in the queue is the boss of some of these scalpers. So he's the big boss. He was there at the D23. They did exactly the same thing. They all start pushing him. Once they've got a certain place in the queue, all the friends will just come and they'll all just meet up and just push in it. And really, nobody's going to say anything because you don't want to start trouble with anyone. You're not there to go and cause confrontations, get into arguments, etc. So at the start of the queue, you've got this judge, and then you've got all these scalpers that are all like queuing. There's about 5 chairs there. But opposite the queue is just a load, and I mean a big gang of people, and it just keeps congregating to be bigger. And it goes from 5 to 10 to 15 to like 30, 40 people that are there. So as 7 o'clock comes, I'm doing my rounds. I'm constantly walking around. I'm this person that cannot sit still. So I'm just constantly on the go, walking back and forth through the line, talking to people. I'm always chatting. So then there's a bit of commotion. Basically 7 o'clock. Last time when they did D23, they decided to hand out tickets. So the people in the queue, if you got a ticket, you was numbered, and you obviously got to purchase the box. So I think that is what was going to happen. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on this. But as 7 o'clock hit, the whole of the people outside and opposite the scalpers at the front, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth was all scalpers in the queue. The whole of like 50 guys, and I mean 50 guys that was all in a gang, they all went in and pushed in. There's videos online, there's pictures. I've got pictures on Twitter if you want to go and check those out. They basically barged in and surrounded the person that was in first. So basically everyone behind that was waiting patiently all night in a single file basically got pushed out of the way, and they basically took over. There was literally nothing you can do. Obviously with this commotion, there was certain people that just got a bit irate and mentioned something, because it's not fair. We should be all, as British, we queue. It's a normal thing. We queue for everything. So all these guys just come out of nowhere and basically take over, and there's a bit of a commotion. So some people come out of the queue, but then you've got other people, other scalpers in other locations in the lines that are running and just pushing in, because if no one's saying anything to them, first 50, I would say at least 70 people pushed into that queue. There was at least 70 people at the start of that queue. And then obviously other people from other parts of the queue decided to leave that wasn't part of the Lorcana community and join those at the front of the queue to stop, because if you can't say anything to 70 people, what's another 10 or another 20? So they all join. And then at this point, there's just a lot of commotion going on. There's security decide to then finally turn up. There's no ticket system in place. There's no queuing in place. It has just gone absolutely to pot. So people are kicking off. There is just a load of commotion going on. And then all of a sudden there is a ticketing book for tickets. Where that came from, I don't know, whether that was the scalpers or the store, but someone shouted, everybody line up here. So a lot of people just come out of the queue and decided to start lining up somewhere else. And then all of a sudden someone's grabbed this book, which apparently wasn't official, so I'm hearing, took the book, ran away with it, basically run off. And then everybody that walked out the queue to go and queue somewhere else decided to come back into the queue, and basically you didn't even know where you was. Everyone was just everywhere. But the front of the pack was all the scalpers. They was taking control. So I obviously did my little walkthrough, went through, and there was stuff like being said that as soon as those doors open, we all rush in. So it was literally, we're going in as a group. We ain't going in as in 5s or 10s. We are all rushing in, and we're going to grab all the product. And obviously the stores, they've barely got any security. There's no police in attendance at this point. And they're literally swarming the doors, and they will not move. Obviously people are getting irate, people are getting like stressed out, there's people crying. There's even like someone having a panic attack. It went from just absolute calm to just chaos within an hour. And these people, they do not give a damn about the Lorcana community whatsoever. We've queued there respectively and responsibly all night. They've just come and they've made mess and they just basically put our community in a bad looking way, to be honest. They're not part of us. They're literally there for the money, for resale value only. I spoke to a couple of scalpers through the night, and they say they're not scalpers, they're rip and shippers, apparently what they want to be called. They don't have jobs, they quit their jobs to do this full time. And it's not just Lorcana they do One Piece, they do Pokemon, they do Magic, they do Swatch watches, they do everything. Fragrances, trainers, whatever's on the market, whatever's in their Discord for them to get, they will go out there and they will queue, but they don't queue properly. Basically, we've got HMV opposite Disney Store with a Pokemon release, and I'm like, so why are you guys not doing the Pokemon? You've got Pitch Black, I think it's Pitch Black anyway, that's being released today, so why are you not over there going for that preset, obviously for that release? And their response was, Lorcana's where all the money is right now, Pokemon's not, so this is the priority, so we're gonna queue and we're gonna take, and there was basically being really honest with me. I was asking them loads of questions and I was being honest. They knew I was a collector and they knew I was a player. They was happy to be honest, and they says we're just here just to flip, get them and sell them, or put them on streams and sell them, get rid of them. They really didn't care. But I think what the plan was for them to get the queue at the front. Once that was done, either rejoin the queue and pass bags back out and jump back in, or literally just walk over the road to HMV, because there was barely anybody queuing for the Pokemon launch over there. So there's probably going to go and run over there and jump into that queue. Who knows? I don't know, because the store opened at 8 and HMV didn't open till 9. But anyway, all this kicked off, and then security's coming around and then saying, basically, there's going to be it's been cancelled. And we're like, what do you mean it's been cancelled? There was nobody there to enforce any rules. The guys was all around the doors. They was basically barricaded in. So the security are pushing their way out. These guys are like, let us in. The worst thing about it is these guys have sold stuff on eBay and they cannot fulfill their orders because they've not got the product, which, I mean, what a shame. But you've got all these guys, the staff safety, the security safety, the whole store in general, the stock safety. If they was to all just get in there, who knows what might have happened. We'd just have a riot. There'd have been looting. So the store decided that we're going to close. But apparently they have opened now, but they've taken all the Lorcana off the shelf, so there is no Lorcana for sale. But the store is open and back open. But we was all just told that it's cancelled and we must wait for it to go online, which I just think it's just bad, because we are now going to have to contend with bots, which you can't contend with. We had Australia have a release. Apparently that was sold out as soon as it went live and nobody got a chance to even get anything. Then there's reports in France that at Disneyland, and I've watched the videos of people jumping over the barricades, pushing people out of the way to get in front of them, and then running down the line system, that they just do not give a crap. They are ruthless, and the money is all they're after, and it just shows that they will do anything for this money. But like I said, there was like earlier in the video, there was a lot of people that were being paid to sit in that queue, and I've got some reports saying there was 55 on that guy's books, and there wasn't just one gang, there was a couple of gangs, and there was at least nearly 1,000 people in that whole queue together, and I would say 500-600. Well, I wouldn't even say that. About 500-600 was probably Lorcana community. The rest was complete just scalpers, just in it for the money. And because of their actions at the start of the queue, everybody's just missed out. And now we have this up in the air moment where we don't know what's going on. We don't know if we can get a Winnie the Pooh Playmat. We don't know if we can get the collector's box. We do not know. So hopefully Ravensburger and Disney can work something out, because you've got two parties here now that need to work together to sort this out. And ultimately they need to sort it out for the community and not for the scalpers. The only thing I can really think of is these purchases for exclusive items should be based on PlayHub. If you are attending events, DLCs, stuff like that, you should be entitled to first choice or raffle tickets into draws to obtain these items, not just some random Joe blogs who decides I want to go and make 150 quid. It shouldn't work like that. Yes, there is collectors. There was a few people, Lorcana people today that said to me, oh, I don't play, I just collect. And that is fair enough. There is people there, so they need to work out something in that regards. But ultimately, the Lorcana community and the players themselves need to be prioritised over everything, no matter what. So we'll see what's going to come up. Like I said, check out my Twitter. It is down the link below. Come and check that out. Take a look at the pictures. Take a look at how things was progressing through the night on the storyline, from just calm, peaceful to just wild, and it was just absolutely mental. But other than that, I think, yeah, it is what it is. It's happened. Ravensburger couldn't really do too much. I'll put a lot of the blame on Disney Store themselves for not starting a ticketing system at the start of it, but it's happened. There's nothing we can do. I'm back home now. I've travelled 3 hours there, 3 hours back. Like I say, I haven't slept for 33 hours. So I'm going to go and get my head down, guys, and I will see you for another video. Take care, bye.